Something absolutely massive just happened in the US battery industry. Something so big that engineers are calling it a top 10 American battery breakthrough of the decade. For the first time ever, US researchers have built a sodium-ion battery that actually beats lithium iron phosphate, LFP, energy density. Better than BYD's Blade. Better than Tesla's LFP packs. And it uses zero lithium, zero nickel, zero cobalt, zero graphite. And the real shock, it can be made entirely inside the United States, using raw materials that China doesn't control. Tonight, we're diving deep into the discovery that could completely rewrite the global battery race and snap China's 15-year stranglehold on the world's energy supply chain. The breakthrough. A team from UC San Diego, working with a small American startup called Unigrid Battery, has built a sodium-ion pouch cell delivering 178 Wh/kg energy density, 417 Wh/L volumetric density. That may not beat the world's top NMC cells, but it absolutely beats every commercial LFP battery on the road today. The trick behind the breakthrough. A shockingly simple innovation. A tin anode that no one thought would work. Instead of using hard carbon anodes, which have a limit of around 350 mAh per G, the researchers used 99.5% pure tin. Tin can store 847 mAh per G, more than double what graphite stores with lithium. For years, tin was considered impossible because it swells by 420%, breaking apart and killing the battery in a few cycles. But the UC San Diego team discovered something everyone else missed. All they did was mix commercial tin powder, 0.25% single-walled carbon nanotubes, 0.25% binder, and press the mixture onto copper foil. That's it. No exotic nanostructures, no vacuum deposition, no expensive treatments. During the first few charge cycles, the tin cracks, then self-welds into a flexible, spongy network that stops further degradation. After stabilization, cells kept 90% capacity after 100 cycles. Internal resistance barely changed. No advanced electrolyte additives were used. This is first-generation performance. With standard electrolyte optimization, cycle life will rise dramatically. This isn't a gimmick. It's a fundamental chemistry unlock. 1. The cost advantage. Sodium is effectively free thousands of times more abundant than lithium, extracted from salt water using century-old processes. The cathode uses sodium chromium oxide, which requires no nickel, no manganese, no cobalt. Tin is the only expensive part. Even then, a 100 kilowatt-hour pack would need around $6,000 worth of tin, still cheaper than using cobalt, nickel, or high-grade graphite. And crucially, tin is mined in Peru, Bolivia, Indonesia, Australia, not controlled by China. 2. Cold weather dominance. Sodium batteries already outperform lithium at minus 20 degrees Celsius. With competitive energy density, sodium becomes the best choice for northern US and Canada EVs, aviation, cold climate grid storage. This could finally solve winter range losses that plague current EVs. 3. Cycle life potential. Hard carbon sodium cells already hit 4,000 to 6,000 cycles in China. With the new tin structure, sodium might combine high energy density, extreme long life, ultra low cost. If these cells reach 5,000 cycles, they will surpass almost every lithium chemistry on the market. 4. US supply chain freedom. Unigrid Battery has one mission: build sodium battery factories inside the United States. The production process is extremely simple. Tin powder plus 0.5% additives. No vacuum chambers. No toxic solvents. No high-temperature baking. No complex coating steps. These cells can be produced on the same equipment used for lithium cells. A factory could be built in 24 to 30 months, not the 5 to 7 years required for lithium refining. For the first time since 2010, the US has a real chance to build a huge independent battery supply chain. China will copy this fast. CATL, BYD, Hina, they all make sodium cells, but they rely on hard carbon anodes, capped around 160 Wh/kg. They will copy UCSD's tin anode within 12 to 18 months. But the West has one advantage. China's export controls and non-compete clauses do not apply to U.S. intellectual property from Unigrid. This means U.S. companies, Japanese companies, Korean companies, European automakers will be able to license American sodium technology without Chinese restrictions. The market forecast just changed. Before this discovery, analysts predicted sodium would take 20 to 25% global share by 2035. Now, if one Western gigafactory scales these tin anode cells, sodium could realistically hit 70% global battery market share by 2034, covering mid-range EVs, crossovers and family cars, delivery vans, heavy trucks, hybrid aircraft, grid storage. This would flip the global energy landscape overnight. There are hurdles, but none are physics barriers. 1. Tin price spikes. Demand could rise 10x, but new mines are already in development. 2. Cycle life needs to hit 800 to 1,000 cycles. For EVs, this is the minimum. But the paper says the loss is mostly from the electrolyte, something easily fixable. 3. A 10 to 20 GWh factory must be built. Someone needs to take the first big step. But the engineering risk is low, and the reward is massive. 15 years ago, lithium-ion was a small Japanese specialty. China built factories, invested early, and now controls 77% of global battery production. But tonight, we may finally be seeing the beginning of the next chapter. A battery that uses no lithium, no nickel, no cobalt, no graphite, no Chinese-controlled metals. A chemistry that heavy checkmark costs less. Heavy checkmark works better in the cold. Heavy checkmark uses American materials. Heavy checkmark can scale inside US borders. Heavy checkmark offers LFP beating performance. The sodium-ion revolution was always coming, but the tin anode breakthrough just hit the afterburners. The first factory could open by 2027 to 2028. And when it does, the global energy map will change overnight. America may finally have the battery it has been waiting for.